Trade of the year from Liverpool. Liverpool are in the midst of an injury crisis right now, especially in the midfield area of their squad. The Reds lack Thiago Alcantara, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones and Naby Keita, and Naby Keita faces a potential exit as she enters the final year of her contract. The club is looking to install a new midfielder as we approach the end of the transfer window this summer to lighten the load, as this injury crisis has wreaked havoc on the team's performance. Konrad Laimer from Leipzig is one of the names that can help ease the stalemate the Merseyside club is in. According to recent reports, the Reds are considering the services of Konrad for a fee of £25 million. However, a new update came after this news, and this time Liverpool can sacrifice a player in this transfer. According to the latest allegations, the Reds are considering using Naby Keita in the transfer of Konrad Laimer. Liverpool are fed up with Keita's poor form and constant injuries. Just as he was about to return to the team at the most needed time this season, he suffered another injury and proved that he cannot be trusted. Yes, Klopp loves his player, but the room is not satisfied because he cannot use it. Keita is entering the final year of his contract, and as we have told you in our previous videos, new contract negotiations between the club and the player have stalled. Although Keita had the most competitive appearance of his Liverpool career last season, this year he had another unfortunate start and made him forget his name. Now, Liverpool are considering a new transfer to the midfield. While considering the possibility of Keita going free next summer, they are considering using it in the transfer of Laimer. It is rumored that Keita may look warmly to his former team, like Timo Werner, who went to Leipzig from Chelsea this season. If we look at a few statistics of Laimer, the star midfielder transferred to Leipzig in the summer of 2017 after 8 goals and 6 assists in 77 games for Salzburg. The Austrian star scored 11 goals in 164 games in Leipzig and assisted in 18. To understand the style of the player, we can take what Adi Hutter said about the Austrian international. He's incredibly aggressive with the ball, challenging his opponents very hard and bringing established pros to the ground. He knows exactly what he wants, said Hutter. Looking at the midfield duo's previous home campaigns, the Leipzig star not only contributed 4 goals more than Liverpool's figure, but also had a higher shot percentage on target and more tackles in the mid-thirds. Crucially for Klopp's well-drilled system, Laimer is more successful in chasing the opponent, putting in 9.71 successful presses out of 90 compared to Keita's 8.23 last season. With that in mind, it's no surprise that Julian Nagelsmann once referred to it as Monsterballroberungsmaskin, which means a monster, a ball-winning machine, in English. With Keita having such a significant injury record, the club is willing to get rid of him, and sacrificing him for a new midfielder makes sense. Moreover, Laimer's salary is expected to be lower than Keita's. Of course, it is a pity that the high testimonial fee paid to Keita cannot be compensated, but some transfers cannot perform as desired. While this is financially distressing, it seems logical that Keita should be used in a trade deal with Laimer rather than leaving for free next season. Journalist Frankie hinted at De Jong's move. According to journalist Dean Jones, it is an absolutely sensational event for Liverpool to make a move for Manchester United midfielder Frenkie de Jong. The Dutch player has been associated with his continued departure from Barcelona over the summer, and a Premier League transfer has been discussed. Manchester United have long been at the forefront of signing de Jong. However, his name was also mentioned with Chelsea, and now it is reported that Liverpool is the target. By Jürgen Klopp's own admission, the Reds need a midfield signing before Thursday's transfer deadline, and the 25-year-old could fit the bill perfectly. In his statements, Jones claimed that de Jong's choice of Liverpool over Manchester United would cause a slump, and stated that there was a potential transfer bomb to be watched out over the next 3 days. The trusted reporter said, "There are a few whispers that Liverpool might make a late offer to de Jong as part of solving their midfield issues. If they had rushed now and took de Jong, it would have been a sensational story for sure. It would cause an absolute collapse," said. De Jong is an outstanding player whose technical quality could be perfect for Liverpool's midfield, but to see him move to Anfield this summer would be a real big deal. In our video yesterday, we told you that Frenkie de Jong was seen at an airport. Although this event has caused transfer speculation, there is no evidence that there is a clear transfer journey yet. It's true that Liverpool are interested, but it's not an easy move. However, a late twist in the saga is always possible, and De Jong has had a 94.5% pass completion rate so far in La Liga this season. The Dutch star can boost the Reds' performance in this area. It also eases the burden of old men like Jordan Henderson and James Milner. We will see together what will happen as we enter the last days of the transfer period. Sepp van den Berg's new team has been announced. Only 3 days until the end of the transfer window in England, and Liverpool fans are eagerly awaiting the midfield transfer. However, not only those who come to Liverpool, but also those who leave. In our video yesterday, we explained that Sepp van den Berg and Schalke are interested. In the latest news, this transfer is about to happen and an official announcement is expected soon. The 20-year-old Dutch defender spent the entirety of last season with Preston North End in the Championship, where he started regularly at right wing and right centre-back. Earlier in the transfer window this season, he was rumoured to be on loan to Championship teams Blackburn Rovers, but injuries to Ibrahima Konate, Joel Matip and Nathaniel Phillips thwarted those plans. Instead, Van den Berg was kept as defensive depth in the first 4 games of the season and was placed on the bench. With Matip and Phillips returning to practice, it looks like the club is now looking to let Van den Berg go on loan again to get more time and continue his development. Multiple sources are now reporting that German club Schalke is about to finish this transfer. Schalke want to act quickly to replace Malik Thiel, whom they sold to Milan. Sepp van den Berg would step into his preferred position at centre-back should the move come to an end after spending most of last season out of position. While Schalke is pushing hard for the signing, reports suggest there will be competition. If Van den Berg joins Schalke, he will join a team fighting to avoid relegation. The German club was relegated 2 seasons ago, but returned to the Bundesliga last year. It can be a valuable experience for a young defender looking to make a splash in his senior career. Good news for Liverpool. Liverpool received some very good news from 3 names ahead of Wednesday night's game against Newcastle United. Head defender Joel Matip started training with the team at the AXA training ground in Kirkby on Monday afternoon. The 31-year-old has not played since the opening game against Fulham at Craven Cottage due to injury. But now it looks like he'll be back in the team shortly after recovering from the muscle tension. It is not yet clear whether it will be deemed appropriate enough to potentially displace Joe Gomez, who has partnered with Virgil van Dijk in Liverpool's 9-0 win over Bournemouth over the weekend. With the return of Curtis Jones, Jürgen Klopp's midfield options have also increased. Jones ran into a problem at the end of the pre-season and made an unfortunate start to the season. Also, young right-back Calvin Ramsey, who was transferred this season, is back. The 19-year-old right-back is being rehabilitated after a minor problem was identified during his medical evaluation. Ramsey has joined from Scottish Premier League side Aberdeen and will provide protection and competition for regular right-back Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's unclear whether Ramsey attended full training or stepped into the final stages of recovery.